Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in today. Today we're going to dive into Frankenstein 2025, the adaptation from Del Toro that's stirring up all sorts of conversation on the internet. Some people online are complaining, some are praising. I fall firmly into the latter camp and I absolutely enjoyed this film. And I want to walk you through exactly why that is. We'll cover what the version does differently, how it leans into the Gothic theme, how it deepens the evolution of the creature, physically, emotionally, cognitively, and how I believe Del Toro uses his artistic license to enhance the core of Frankenstein, or The Modern Prometheus by Mary Shelley. And yes, we'll also talk about some of the internet's negative context, the trolls saying that, this isn't the classic Frankenstein, and how I still loved it regardless. So, first off, let's establish some perspective. The internet chorus of, "This is too artsy, he messed with Shelley's vision, it's all style over substance." Yeah, that stuff exists, and you'll probably find a lot of that out there if you're looking for, reviews and comments on this film before going and watching it. You'll find comments like, somehow devoid of personality that isn't a laundry list of gothic aesthetic cliches, or the movie was not faithful to the book as I expected it to be. Hey, you know what? Yeah, there's some valid reactions. If you go into this expecting it to be the 1931 monster movie template, you're going to feel extremely thrown off by this and you're going to hate your time watching this film. But for me, I think for Del Toro's intention, the point isn't to retread the old version, it's to reinterpret the myth with emotional depth and some visual grandeur. So let's talk about the synopsis. And don't worry, there's some minimal spoilers here, but if you're that concerned about it and still want to watch the film, come back and join the rest of this conversation when you're done. So this version opens in a prologue set in the Arctic, echoing the framing device of Shelley's novel. We're introduced to the icy wasteland, the ship, the ominous creature, and then the story shifts into Victor Frankenstein, his obsession, his experiments, and the transitions to the creature's tale. So Victor's story, a brilliant but ego-driven scientist who attempts to conquer death. And the creature's story, not just monster rampaging villagers, but a being who learns, suffers, and longs for something more of a connection. Now, the evolution of the creature. This is where I think the film gets extremely powerful. So physically, the creature begins malformed, patchwork, grotesque in his assembly. And we see the body parts being gathered, the visceral experiment unfolding before us. This gives the film a raw physical foundation, different from the ambiguous lightning bolt of some earlier versions, which, some of you may enjoy. But emotionally, there's a moment where the creature watches humanity from a distance. He witnesses family, love, cruelty, and he wants to be a part of it, but is rejected. And that rejection is what drives him. And cognitively, the creature learns to speak, to read, to reflect. He understands his origin, his creator, and his exile. And because of this, he shifts from being made to being aware. And with this awareness comes an extreme amount of pain. One example, in the trailer voiceover we hear, "Memories of different men. Then I saw it. Your name. Victor Frankenstein. My creator." That moment encapsulates the cognitive awareness. He recognizes, you made me, and now I must deal with what you made. By the end, the creature is no longer just a victim or a monster. He becomes a figure of loneliness and longing, of forgiveness. He doesn't just seek revenge, he seeks understanding. That arc, from creation to consciousness, is the heart of this adaptation for me. Now let's talk the Gothic theme, Del Toro's specialty. He leans into the decay and grandeur of this world. Ruined labs, dim corridors, frozen wastelands. That's a strong stylistic link to, ruins are more beautiful than the original buildings in his production design. And the film embraces the darkness, grief, obsession, abandonment. The Gothic isn't just a look, it's baked into every theme of this film. The creature walks through landscapes of ice and fire, and Victor's ambition is shown in waxed halls and shadow-filled operas. The tension between the scientific and the spiritual is constant. What I particularly loved was moments when the creature stands under the moonlight, isolated, and you feel the weight of being othered. The horror isn't cheap jump scares, it's empathy for the outsider. Okay, so with that all being said, how much does it lean into Shelley's original book? Well, pretty significantly. The structure mimics the novel's framing. Arctic prologue, then Victor's tale, then the creatures. It retains major themes: creation, responsibility, abandonment. But yes, Del Toro did take some artistic license into consideration when creating this film. Some characters are tweaked, backstories are deepened. For example, Victor's father's role. Some scenes are more overtly emotional than in the book. Those who want a destination by destination, faithful adaptation may think the changes are problematic. And for example, the use of corpses to create the body and the use of electricity are not present in the original work at all. And the internet is full of comments like, "The script is utter dog shit. There's not enough threading between the points for them to make sense." But here's my take. Del Toro changes, they don't erase the heart of the Shelley novel. I believe they actually amplify it. By making the creature's evolution explicit, by giving Victor more personal demons, by heightening the emotional stakes, we get a Frankenstein story for now, not one just made for the 19th century. So, what about those trolls out there? The folks online who say, "Oh, it's too artsy," or "not Frankenstein enough." Yeah, I get where you're coming from. If you expect the classic monster-stalking villagers, you're going to be extremely disappointed by this film. But if you're ready for something deeper, richer, more visual and emotionally satisfying, and made for a modern era, you're going to absolutely love this one. In fact, I loved this adaptation. I loved how it made me feel sorry for a creation rather than rooting against it. I loved how the creature's final act wasn't destruction. It was a gesture of forgiveness and acceptance of his loneliness. I loved how Victor's downfall wasn't just about ambition. It was about abandonment, about the creator failing his creation. So in summary, if you go in with an open mind and let the film be what it wants to be, you'll find a beautifully haunting piece of cinema, and you will love this. If you cling to this must be exactly match the book, or this must replicate the 1931 monster movies, you know what? Huge sigh for you. Don't watch it, because you're going to absolutely hate every minute of it. But for me, the emotion, the craftsmanship, the thematic weight, it all adds up in this one. Del Toro didn't just remake Frankenstein. He reimagined it for an audience that's ready to ask, what does it mean to be human? What does it mean to create life? What does it mean to be abandoned? And I think he answers it with style, heart, and genuine Gothic grandeur. So, if you haven't seen Frankenstein 2025 yet, I urge you, watch it with some fresh eyes and give yourself the chance to feel it. And when you're done, swing on back by, drop a comment, let us know. What did you think? Did Del Toro take on Frankenstein well? Did it move you in any way? Or did you wish he stuck closer to the classic? Let's talk about monsters, makers, and what lies between. If you enjoyed this review, hit the like, subscribe, and ring that bell for some more deep dives into Gothic and monster cinema, as we've got, a number of videos that we've just produced and pushed out, and a lot more to come. Let us know what you want to hear about. Let us know your opinions. And until next time, keep exploring the darkness and the light. And have a great night, everybody.